Welcome to another episode of the Coffee Conversation Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum, TIF, and our tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Series is The Emerging Lawyer, and theme is the multifaceted legal expert from cyber laws to compliance. We have with us Ayush Chandra, Legal Compliance Officer at Avos. Ayush has an impressive academic background, master's degree in criminal law from NMIS, Mumbai, and he's also pursuing business law at National Law School of India, University, Bengaluru.
Okay.
Ayush journey is equally remarkable with roles that span legal compliance, contract management, and product management. So, friends, today on a Saturday afternoon, it will be lovely conversation we will have with Ayush. So I'm Amir Varani, your host at Coffee Conversation and a legal tech evangelist. So Ayush, just want to explain you the format. We have got two rounds which you know, but there is a surprise third round that is a rapid fire round for which you have to be witty, quick, and fun to answer them, and you'll get this book. Is your organization cyber healthy? So I'm author of 13 ebooks. It will be autographed and sent to you. So once again to today's coffee conversation episode, Ayush.
So thank you, sir, for having me. I hope it's going to be a very enlightening and insightful session, and I'm honored to be here.
Okay, so let's begin. Your first question for your professional journey is: how has the journey been as a legal professional till date?
So my current journey as a legal professional has been very exciting and insightful because, as you mentioned, I have transitioned from my academics to my work profile, which is a legal compliance officer. So basically, I had masters in criminal laws, and as you mentioned, I'm doing my ongoing business law studies. So it has come a full circle where now I am from cyber laws, which was my core competency after law school, now slowly transitioning into legal compliance, which is also an exciting era and field which I see is growing rapidly. And I'm privileged and honored to be appointed as a legal compliance officer in my organization. And I hope I do a justice to my role and am able to streamline and grow my organization with my expertise.
Wow. Okay. So Ayush, what are the roles and responsibilities of a legal compliance officer?
So, if I speak about my roles and responsibilities, so my roles are responsibility is so basically my role is a legal compliance officer. I look after their group's legal compliance and also the basic statutory compliance audits, whatever is required from the management side to be conducted through me. When it comes to responsibilities, I basically review contract management, contracts through a contract lifecycle document system, and I oversee the statutory audits parts and compliance parts, which are minuscule and which are easily able to do along with my finance team. And The other roles also are that I am sometimes a part of the events committee with respect to any technological event which my organization plans to conduct. I'm a part of the digital team as well, where I advise and I oversee the majority of the part along with my team based in Indonesia. Apart from that, I have a duty of summarizing all the key legislations, acts, or any new important information with respect to the Indian organization as well as my other affiliated entities based in the US, Dubai, Singapore, Indonesia, and of course the main headquarter which is located in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. So, in short, I'm basically an all-rounder personality, and I do a lot of work in my role as a compliance officer. but not taking away the most of the work is all corporate, general corporate legal stuff. So that's a nutshell about my profile.
Interesting, interesting. So Ayush, we are curious to know, okay, you have done multiple courses like cyber law, digital marketing, product management. Um, so what made you go into different, besides being completing your law, and now you also going on a journey of continuous learning, business law. So we viewers like to know out there, okay, why continuous learning is important for a professional career development.
So the answer to that is I'll first give you in the first part is why I started off with doing various degrees which seem to be very complicated. They are, but I was fortunate enough to be able to learn and undergo what an ecosystem is. So the journey started when I was in my first year of law school and during my summer vacations. I came across Upgrad. I think Upgrad had started during 2016 or so with their courses, and I was studying their startup platform. I was enrolled in that course, and during that time, my eyes caught an attention to their weekly program, which was running for 2 weeks or so, where they had digital marketing, product management. So I did both the courses. I It was 2 weeks free course. So I attended those things and I realized, okay, this is also something different which a legal professional can do. Though it's unconventional in nature, but it's good from a long perspective. From being a lawyer to know every single because of the technological advancement, you cannot be sustained to a single niche of law. You need to have a broad spectrum of knowledge and be able to advise on any matter whichever comes across to you. So that's how the journey started. And during my law school, I did not pursue those courses in a more authentic manner because of that notion of going into that part. But over the period of time, as soon as I started gaining more knowledge on that field, and I'm still a part of a community which is known as Product Hunt. From there, my imagination and my excitement towards the product industry started. And that led to me doing product management as well as digital marketing. Because I understood and I'm pretty sure that these two certifications in the industries, if they are combined together with law, it's going to be helpful because if you see from both the sides, law is a necessary part of it. With respect to digital marketing, your website protocols come into play. Then the IPR, the copyrights, all this IP stuff comes into play. Then with respect to the product management is like how software has to be developed, what are the agreements being made, what are the compliances which we have to follow in it. So that combination plus with respect to cyber laws, that gave me a holistic view of what I actually wanted to do. And thanks to the NMIMS criminal law course and my specialization in cybercrime, I actually found my calling. That if I combined all these three certifications in hand and I apply in a corporate sector, I would be hired as a T member, which is a critical term in the product management industry, which means the person having all round knowledge. So that was my understanding and my vision to enroll in these courses. Also, maybe because of my curious mind and my eye for digital advertisements and how the love for products being made and developed, that also fueled the choice of attempting those courses and setting apart, which apart from my normal conventional folks doing. So that was an enlightening journey and an exciting one altogether.
Okay. So now, Ayush, working in different time zones, how do you manage your work and stay energetic?
So the answer is like I have to manage my work in a stipulated 9 hours time, which I've been appointed. and sometimes depends on the magnitude of work. I have to give in my mandate hours of Saturday and Sundays also, but thankfully those are very rare. Otherwise, I'm able to achieve my targets in the 9 hours which I have. And talking about time zones are being flexible because my organization and the affiliate entities, they run 2 hours, 30 minutes ahead of us. So by the time I am logging in, I know what the tasks are and what I am supposed to do. And thanks to my seniors, they obviously tell me what the work has to be done, and they give me a timeline. So according to that, I manage my uh, other responsibilities as well as I deliver the deliverables which are required from me on time.
Okay.
Yeah, and coming to part being of energetic, it's like I eventually, once I'm finished with my work on time and I have logged out of my work, that's the time when I relax a bit because being a compliance officer, handling a lot of matters, liaising with a lot of business development people, with vendors, with suppliers, with my teammates in India and Malaysia, it becomes exhausting. And after work, I usually relax myself by maybe watching something on YouTube, maybe gaining more knowledge on how technology works, what are the new advancements coming into picture, how AI is helping. So that's about it.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's go to your experience related to contract management and legal document preparation. So, how's the experience and what kind of work have you done in those areas?
So the work I have been doing since my organization is an IT-based plus solution company and staffing. So usually I deal with staffing agreements with respect to employment agreement or the usual MSAs with the vendors. Since we are the staffing company, so we have to create vendor agreements, we have to do the employment agreements, look into any labor compliance or any sort of obstacle or any bottleneck which comes into the agreements. So I have to deal with them in that. So, and with respect to solutions part, we have our standard MSAs, NDAs. We have our software license agreements. We have tri-party agreements. We have all, you name it, we have all these agreements in place, which are required for a solutions plus staffing company. That's it. And with respect, so it's been challenging with respect to using both Indian knowledge and Malaysian knowledge, laws knowledge into combine into one picture to be able to analyze what uh, clauses are important and what pricing, or you can say the visa norms, or how replacement period. These are some crucial points, including indemnity, non-solicitation, assignment, etc. So these are some vocal clauses of contracts which I have to foresee and think upon it, yeah, how it can be a potential problem for us and how to navigate out of it.
Okay. My next question is a curiosity. Working with in a what do you say international company and dealing with people from different cultures. So how do you bring about there is they understand you, you understand them, and there is a healthy working relation. And as you said, understanding Malaysian laws, you are understanding them and implementing. So likewise, the law part, I'm talking about dealing, working with people from different culture, different time zones. So how do you, what are your, what do you say, you devise a plan and you're able to achieve the results which the company is looking for.
So, with respect to the employees being situated in India, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, so I try my best to help them out as well as possible if they have any problems with regards to the employment or any issues they come across with respect to culture, or maybe like with respect to any help required, I am always there, because I believe a healthy environment with respect to you promoting culture, you are safeguarding them, you are helping them, and you're nurturing them into being able to come to you for any problems without hesitating. That's the key role, because I am a team leader. I want to motivate my team to its best level to achieve the outcome which my organization wants from me. When it comes to legal requirements, I'm there helping them with any issues which come across to them. Maybe there's a negotiation which they think they are not very equipped with it, or they are not very proficient with it. I'm always there to help them out. And since I deal with a lot of
Okay.
people, different cultures, I am empathetic towards of them. I know what the problems, and I uh, I usually create a very healthy environment and a friendly environment from my colleagues. I do not unnecessary create issues for them. I'm like more on a liberal terms, because I have to foresee every single thing, and I have to be the one man Spock between them and my management. So I have to have a neutral standpoint. I cannot be biased towards both the sides. I have to think from my perspective of a legal compliance officer, as well as keeping their culture and identity intact without any biasness. That I hope that helps the organization, and I continue to foster the healthy environment in my organization wherever I work, whether it's this organization or any organization in the future.
Wow. Thanks for the wonderful tips that will be useful for young professionals working with different culture people in different time zones, different places, and your tips will be valuable. So do watch this episode and listen to what Ayush has shared. Now let's go to your role as a cybercrime intervention officer. What is the job role of a cybercrime intervention officer, and how has it impacted your uh, work areas?
So I'll tell you about the CCIO certification, which is known as the Cybercrime Intervention Officer. So the role and responsibilities come into as, so basically the role is of a first responder. So when you get to know there's a certain cybercrime has been committed against somebody, so you are the first responder to that. You come into the aid of helping them to how to lodge an FIR, how to extract the evidence without tampering them, because that's the most valuable part in an cyber crime, where you have to have the data which is not tampered. Even in general parlance, you need to have the data which is not tampered with any malicious intent, and it can help you to seek justice and be able to help the law enforcement and agencies to be able to crack that and help you get with your data back, or any issues which has happened, like if there is cyberbullying, you've been getting justice. So that's the main role, and we have certain boundaries. So since I'm a legal professional, I am allowed to advise them on legal matters. I'm able to help them liaise with the police people, get their FIRs launched, and follow up on their behalf. It's all from their side if they wish to. And we do not, we have certain boundaries with respect to how far we can go with it, and how ethical we have to be, because in this, we cannot be unethical, because it comes at the end, it boils down to you being a cybercrime officer, helping the person, intervening in between the crime and stopping it as much as possible. And if it's occurred, you have to help the victim out in solving and getting her rightful justice delivered to her, which is the most key role comes into this. So coming to the part of how this helps in my legal professional role is, since doing the cyber laws and the CCI course, I've become more cyber aware on how to tackle such situations because I'm in a corporate setting. And I believe corporate setting is a more vulnerable sector as compared to individuals and society, where at any time, anywhere, you don't know what will happen to the servers or anything, and you may have a very strong, robust IT framework, which may help you solve it. But at the end, you need to have that eye for the eagle eye to able to see, okay, where what things can go wrong and how to identify them and how to solve it before it becomes too big and incurs heavy losses for the organization. So by those domain knowledge, I think now I'm become more aware of what are the legal loopholes in terms of cyber, in terms of statutory, in terms of audits, in terms of legal contractual obligations with respect to developing any tech event or any social media content. So I think I'm becoming more knowledgeable and be able to deliver whatever is required with ethical standards and be able to save my organization from any potential cyber risk which are impounding. You cannot say, okay, it won't happen to us. You are bound to be a part of that syndicate whenever the cybercrime criminal they think, okay, this is the right time to extract something which can be beneficial for themselves, and they are able to uh, justify that. So that's how the cyber knowledge comes into play.
Okay. Well, so now, Ayush, AI has increased cyber crimes in an individual life as well as for created damages for the corporate company. So, what precautions should a company take for avoiding AI-induced cybercrime?
So the key compliances and key things which a company should look into is the AI policy which they have drafted in the organization. They need to review it and draft it in such a manner that it should encompass all the potential risks from the AI, and the policies or the documentation should always speak about fair use and ethical use, and not for just competing in a market. Because if you are developing products which are oriented and they might have some potential damages or defects in it, it's always advisable to go through the documents. Firstly, when you are proposing for any AI software in your organization, you need to check for ISO compliance, you need to check for DPDPA, whether these two, three international frameworks are being complied in your organization. Do you have a robust security policy? How's your IT framework to tackle any AI crimes? And how well your employees and your team, when they're acquiring or they're in talks of acquiring with any AI startup, they should know whether whatever the critical points I've just mentioned are followed to the T, and it it has to be helpful for the organization. It cannot be uh, created only for the purpose of generating revenue. It should be for getting a value out of it and be able to streamline and increase your productivity and get a ROI out of it. And as per me, the ethical standards should always be maintained. And as much as confidential information is restricted from embedding or inputting in any AI software, and using it for the purpose of generating revenue with ethical standards is always a go to go. Otherwise, just for the mere use of being AI oriented company, or you are just showing off in the market that we have the capabilities of developing AI products or working with AI, it will help you in a shorter run, but without any proper framework and ethical standards, you may succeed in a small run, but not in the long run. Because
Okay.
what I can foresee is AI is helpful in a limited way, but AI can be used for multiple purposes, which we are still very nascent to, and we are naive about it. We don't know what will happen in the future. But if we are aware of the policies, regulatory framework, the ethical standards, the non confidentiality clause, the IP protections, the cyber elements, till then we'll be much more in a safer place, and we'll be able to develop authentic AI ethical models. Without that, we won't survive for a very long time, and we'll be obsolete.
Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful tips. So now, Ayush, you have been a co-author with the book Information and Cybersecurity. So, how was the experience and how has the journey been?
So the experience has been exciting because it was my first time co-authoring a book. Because before that, I did not have any expertise or I did not know how to write a book. With the help of the other professors and the teammates, the other authors who uh, managed to help me out and publish a book, was indeed was overwhelming, because eventually I did not know how to do all that, and their domain knowledge was purely in information IT, and whereas coming to mine, I was in more of a cyber oriented professional. So merging the two was a challenging part, because in a book with limited page numbers, you cannot go overboard with content. You have to restrict your content to a certain level. And with respect to the ever growing scenarios of cybercrime, it was challenging and difficult to incorporate a lot of things into the book without making the reader too overwhelmed with the content. And it has to be as simple as possible. It cannot be too mere complex. So those were the challenges. And with the help of my father, who has written more than 10, 15 books in various uh, genres, and in his corporate experience, and his guidance helped me into making and co-authoring this book. And his tips and suggestions were always helpful. And I hope to continue in this journey of writing more books in on AI, on cybercrime, more so on cybercrime from my perspective, and maybe make it a full-time career up when I maybe think my calling has been done from the corporate sector, and I think I need to uh, go more into academics. So yeah, I hope that day comes soon.
Good. So now, Ayush, who influenced you from the legal world?
So for say, there were very big luminary like Kapil Sibbat, the Honorable CGI Chandrachud sir, and other distinguished senior advocates and few colleagues of mine. They actually motivated me and made me think about like what all, like their knowledge and their years of experience is always helpful for any newcomer in the industry, whether it's me or anybody else. And learning from them throughout their journey, uh, through webinars, conferences, or workshops, has always been an excitement journey. And there are other professionals as well, with respect to the product industry, with respect to the cybercrime industry or the cybersecurity industry, who all have actually helped people like me to create a broad understanding of the subject, wherever you go in, and that helps the younger generations because they are the iconic people and they've been in this industry for more than 20, 30 years. So they know the nuances, they know what are the loopholes, they know how to flourish in the industry. So that's my that's why my learnings come from these legendary seniors.
Wow. Okay. Now, how has technology helped you, Ayush, in your career?
So technology has helped me in my career, whereas earlier when I was in my school, I did not know about technology. I was just like a normal citizen or a normal regular user using internet, surfing, browsing. Since the time I've entered into the legal industry, it has broaden my horizon towards technology, and coupled with these certification and courses, it has helped me gain a significant widespread knowledge in these technologies. And with respect to coming to legal tech, which is the new hot topic in the legal world, that also fuels my knowledge of using more technological tools in my legal professional life, implementing them, testing it, how it can be helpful for my organization or it can be helpful for me in my personal life as a legal professional. So that's how technology has influenced, and I continue to engage in more AI specific, legal tech specific technologies.
Oh, okay. So now let's go to our next round, the personal round. Tell us about your family and your formative years, Ayush.
So basically, I come from a military defense background, whereas my mom's side, my elder uncles were in army and air force respectively, and my dad is an ex air force officer. Yeah, he took a voluntary retirement from that to pursue his corporate innings because he's a very learned professional. He has his general MBA in supply chain and management from IM Bangalore. He is a PhD in international trade, this thing, and he has been handling. You can say he's a maestro in supply chain and logistics because that was the most of the work he did during his employment with the Air Force. And my formative years were all in the defense bases where I was growing up and experiencing one place to another, shifting, seeing the life of a defense kid surrounded by the defense officers, a very rich, I can say, culture and a very disciplined life, where you can say I have seen every single thing from wars to shifting to staying with wild animals to having changed many schools throughout my formative years because of the duty my dad was doing to the nation, and getting much exposure from those circumstances and those situations actually helped me into paving my path for the future, and it continues to do so even in the corporate setting where my dad still is actively interested in and involved in AI education. He is into MBA. He's a third professor. He teaches MBA cohorts. He writes books, and you say he's done every single thing from defense life to acting to writing a book to making AI courses to every single thing he has done. And that helps me to become an all rounder in my life. And I hope to continue to do so.
So, so Ayush, uh, what are your memories from your college and what activities you
So the activities and the workshops I attended during my law school were I actively participated in my moot court competitions, which were you can say the most important aspect of any law student in the law school is to uh, attend the moot court, because that helps you to work in a real life setting, whether it is in courts or whether it is in corporate setting. You need to know how to argue. So that helped me to gather that knowledge. Plus, I was a part of the legal forum committee in my law school, where we used to organize events, the moot courts and all. And being a member of that forum helped me to know how to organize an event, how to draft briefs for the moot courts, what all moot propositions which we can research upon, and maybe make it into a moot proposition for the students to prepare and do their moot court on. That was another brownie point. Plus, I participated in judgment writing competition in my final year during the COVID times. I eventually participated in debates and all, because this thing comes from my childhood, where I was very active in terms of morning assemblies. I was a part of my school choir, and part of dramatics clubs, and all these clubs, they actually helped me to use those skills into my legal law school, and be able to achieve the better outcome and gain more organizational, you can say, team building, team motivation, organization, all those skills, interpersonal skills, they all came from my law school. And it is very important. Like, I must advise every law student should be a part of the legal forum. They should be part of any committee which is helping them foster their development and helping them grow. They should participate in all the events, because by participating in all these events, you actually know where you stand and how you can become a best product out of it. And that's the key, because you won't get these chances after graduating from law school. Even in a professional setting or in the business world, you won't get opportunities. And that's why whatever you're doing in law school, you should experiment. Like how I did experimenting in my law school. I did multiple courses from different industries. I interned with a boutique consultancy organization. I interned with an LPO. I was a part of, I was a campus ambassador of International Model United Nations. That's all how what I did. And I feel proud that I was able to pull that off, and be able to implement all these things in my career is a big advantage, and you should not miss that opportunity.
Wow. Okay. Ayush, uh, what hobbies or activities do you enjoy doing outside your work?
So basically, my what I like to do after work is, basically after a demanding career and exhausting week, I tend to take my weekends on a very relaxed basis. I do not engage in much of activities. I keep it very minimum. Uh, and occasionally I visit the clubs, spend some time with my family. Whenever I get the chance, I am organizing my personal digital life, thinking on more ideas, what else to do. Uh, Also, apart from that, helping my parents in their household work or in their professional work life. Uh, that's how I keep myself engaged. Plus, I do more on reading on AI, and I binge watch geopolitical web series, more on AI, cybercrime. I keep myself up to date, or even on weekends. Or if I'm not doing that, you will find me in any workshop or webinar or any conferences which I come across. which I think is beneficial for me and I'm able to get some knowledge out of it, I utilize my time to those.
Wow. Okay. Now, my last question will be for you. Describe Ayush in one line.
So describing myself in one line would be all-rounder, discipline, uh, keeping an eye of keeping an eye on detail, more aware, cyberly oriented, a product enthusiast, or and a budding lawyer and a inspirational one.
Wow. Okay. So now let's go and have some fun, the rapid fire round. Uh, your go-to comfort food.
Comfort food is Lebanese.
Okay. Your favorite movie.
My favorite movie is you can say there are a lot, but I'll say for starters is Welcome. The
Okay. Wow. Your favorite place to travel.
It's Dubai.
Okay. Mm-hmm. One gadget you can't live without.
My phone and my laptop.
Okay. Okay. Best piece of advice you have received and which has more has impacted you.
So the best advice I received were from my school teachers and my law professors when they saw the dirt of knowledge I had in my mind and how I'm able to speak up whenever the topic comes. Actually, that helped me to gain more knowledge and like not be clueless whenever somebody asks me on anything. So that's my fueling fire.
Okay. Mhm. Yeah. Tea or coffee?
It's tea, but now I'm moving to coffee.
Okay. So let's lift those to coffee. Okay. Uh, your favorite color?
It's red.
Wow. So you did well, and you will get this book. Is your organ cyber healthy? So, friends, we had a lovely conversation with young legal professional Ayush Chandra, sharing his journey. We learned about his role as a legal compliance officer, his experience as a cyber intervention officer, then his passion for learning, attending seminars, co-authoring a book, coming from a defense family. So Ayush, you have impacted through this conversation many young legal professionals, which they will, as you said, you have to experiment, take different courses while you're in the college, take part activities and enjoy them. So, friends, who watched this episode, once uploaded on the Coffee Conversation Show, there are over 180 plus episodes with different subject experts. Subscribe them and you will get notified when there is another episode uploaded. So enjoy and happy Raksha Bandhan Day. We meet again with another guest speaker and enjoy those conversations which have over coffee. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for having me. It was indeed a pleasure.
Thank you. One moment.